All right, let's hit it.
Red light, green, blue lights too. Rest in peace comes from within you. Stop being free, sit and breathe. You got the recipe. Come on and ride with me. Red light, green, blue lights too. Serenity comes from within you. Stop being free, sit and breathe. You got the recipe. Come on and ride with me. I can't even get no rest. Every day I feel so stressed, yeah. Sipping so I won't regress. Slipping under the pressure. Boy, this feels like depression. Whoa, this don't feel like my best skin. I'm supposed to be my best friend, oh. So why do I keep fighting me and desperately trying to be something other than this? Tell me what's up is bliss. Red light, green, blue lights too. Rest in peace comes from within you. Stop being free, sit and breathe. You got the recipe. Come on and ride with me. Red light, green, blue lights too. Serenity comes from within you. Stop being free, sit and breathe. You got the recipe. Come on and ride with me. I ain't got no energy left. Difficulty catching my breath, yeah. Can't help but feeling a mess. Feeling like I'm hitting a wall. Running into problems. Always trying to solve them. Obstacles keep falling. Losing my brain. Where do I go? What do I do? Who do I call on? Where do I look? In front of me. Where do I go? What do I do? Who can I run to? Slipping into a fantasy. Where do I go? What do I do? I got the recipe. All that I need is inside of me. Red light, green, blue lights too. Rest in peace comes from within you. Stop being free, sit and breathe. You got the recipe. Come on and ride with me. Red light, green, blue lights too. Serenity comes from within you. Stop being free, sit and breathe. You got the recipe. Come on and ride with me.
My name is Diggity Dom Dom Diggity Dom Dom Diggity Dom Diggity Dom Dom Diggity Dom Dom Diggity Dom Diggity Dom Dom Diggity Dom Dom Diggity Dom Diggity Dom Dom Diggity Dom Diggity Dom Dom Diggity 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 Dom Dom Diggity 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 Dom 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 Diggity 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 Dom 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 Diggity Dom 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 Diggity Dom Diggity diggity dom dom diggity dom dom diggity dom dom diggity dom diggity dom dom diggity dom dom dom. What's going on? What's poppin'?
What's
What's
going on?
poppin'? Yo, it's been a wild, wild time in the life of COVID. I haven't seen my homies in so long. If y'all didn't know, these are my homies from high school, way back in Boston Arts Academy days.
Oh dear.
Way back.
Yes, it's been crazy. Like, by the way, it's Diggity Dom, Talks with Dom show. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Um, but yeah, like we're out here with I'm Dom, Diggity Dom. We got Izzy, Jazzy,
What's good?
and then Nye's over there. She's
I
you
think
know,
she may be well,
yeah,
but you know,
on the go. She's gonna be back. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all good.
focus,
She's
focus on
trying to
that.
tune in. Appreciate you, Nari, trying to be on the go. Pop on the live. Be safe while you are on your travels. But
Right.
pretty much one of the main reasons I wanted to get all of y'all on here was because I'm we're all at different colleges. We might have started at the same high school, but I'm at Berkeley. Izzy's out in Canada. Jazzy's out in Boston, and then Nari's out in Pennsylvania, right?
She's in Jersey,
Oh
New Jersey.
shoot,
but she
definitely
goes
need
to
to jack
school in
that up.
Florida.
Definitely jack that up. But yeah, if y'all could tell a little bit about yourself, and just introduce yourself, let the people know what's going on with you.
Start.
Izzy, you
I
wanna
start.
go?
I'll go.
Go
I'm
ahead.
Izzy from Boston. Boston.
Oh,
Izzy.
is he disappeared for a sec?
Oh, y'all done switched places. My goodness.
All right,
Hi
Jazzy,
guys.
how are you?
Hi, I'm Tajazia, aka Jazzy, for all of those who may
Wow.
know.
Can you hear me now? Just kick me out.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, people's internet's been wild, but
But
it's all
everybody's
good.
here though, I think.
Yeah, everybody's here. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? The devil's out here trying to fight. But yeah, Jazzy just started going in, so Izzy will hit you next.
Right.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm Jazzy, and I'm out here in Boston, and I go to UMass Boston. Since we're talking about schools, might as well say where we go to school.
Lit. That's what's up. Izzy, tell us about
Okay.
yourself.
Izzy from Boston too. Boston born and raised, like I said before. Currently out in Canada, studying at Saint FX in Antigonish. So yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting time.
Dope, dope. What you majoring in?
Jazz guitar. Jazz guitar.
Mm.
Fire. All right,
Yeah.
Nari, what's poppin'?
Hey, so my name is Nairi. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, also born and raised. I am currently in the tri-state area. I go between New Jersey and Philly a lot, but I attend the University of the Arts and I study dance.
Fire, fire. Jazzy, did we get your major?
Oh, I am a Latin American Iberian Studies major, so I pretty much study Spanish, the language.
Nice. That's
Okay.
what's up. Yeah, I'm trying to learn Spanish myself. I've been on that Duolingo. We've been challenging each other, but
Of
I've been I've
course,
been kind of
you
struggling.
know, who keeps up with their streak or whatever, but it's all good, learning, but having fun with the little competition type stuff. So, you know.
Facts. Word. That's what's up. All right. Well, we about to get into the topic of discussion: online learning. Okay. I know y'all been waiting. It's been crazy. I'm at Berkeley. My majors are music production and engineering and music business management. But I recently just added a minor in commercial record production because there was like, oh, we're gonna give out 2 free classes because of COVID. So I was like, bet, like, if I could finesse the minor in there. But y'all, I'm stressed. And it's a lot. And, like, I don't know, like, working and stuff on top of that is very stressful. So let's hit it with the first question. How are you managing online school? Like, I'm I feel like, first of all, Berkeley didn't even give us a spring break. They was like, nah, scrap that, scrap that. So pretty much like I started school, and I'm trying real hard. I'm trying to do all my readings. I'm trying to like get stuff done early, be on top of stuff. And like at this time, like I had a part-time job, like, still trying to do all this thing, run my business. And then like, midterms hit, and I'm going through health stuff, and like, I was like, dang, like this is tough. And after midterms, even the teachers were like, dang, like I'm feeling not having no break now. Like it's just tough. Like I don't know, like how y'all dealing with it.
It's weird. I don't know. Like some of my classes are online, and it's just like it's weird because I don't know. I'm not used to it, and it's like I have too much power to basically like not do anything. So it's like I don't know. I've been trying to deal with it more than anything, more than I really been dealing with it.
Yeah, I find myself multitasking a lot in the middle of class. Like I be taking notes, but then I might be sending the email too. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, oh, I can get this done, or I could design this thing real quick. Well, and it's like it's not like the best thing, but like I feel like it's I don't know, like it's allowed me to be a lot more productive in a sense. But like I don't know, school is another question. Like them readings, I'm really trying, y'all. Like any teachers watching this, I'm telling you, I'm really trying, but it's a lot of chapters with a lot of pages, and I got 7 classes right now, plus a job, plus a business, plus like I'm part-time gigs. It's just like we're trying to like survive right now, and it's kind of tough. And like I'm happy that like I have the hybrid model right now, so I'm saving gas money. You know what I mean? I'm saving a little bit on parking, so that's great. I don't gotta run across campus. We'll get into that later on. But Jazzy or Nye, you got some input how y'all managing right now online school?
Um, currently in this moment right now at 4:13 today, I am procrastinating on like 6 assignments. So that just will tell you about it. Um, so UArts has, I'm not even gonna like try and like dig on them because they've tried their hardest, but their hardest just hasn't been enough for us. Like it's just like I feel like so we do these things called Zoom free week. So they'll try and give us a week because I'm completely online. Like I have no classes in person. So they'll try and do some weeks like where like we don't have to go on Zoom and like have class and everything will be asynchronous and we can do things on our own. But then they give us so much work that it's like we should have just stayed on Zoom this week personally. So that's what I'm going through. I don't recommend online learning. Honestly, like if you have the opportunity to honestly like wait it out, then wait. But in a situation like where we were already in school, obviously finish what you have going on. But I don't think it's lucrative to getting a dance degree because I'm dancing on Zoom in my room and I'm like kicking the wall and like breaking stuff. It's not fun. So yeah.
And yeah, that's tough. I'm a Jazzy. I'm gonna let you say what you gotta say because I got some. There's a lot of stuff rolling in my head right now.
I definitely feel you best with this whole 6 assignment procrastination type stuff. Cause, I mean, for me, like I just switched my major like midway into like completing school, and so that in itself is a wild adjustment. So I guess like really online is not it. Like my first semester as a Spanish major and learning a language online, like, I know there's people who's out there that do it, but I mean the way that I'm being taught in a class in a school setting, like I feel like I just need to be in the classroom. Like I need to be with people to, practice all of this stuff that they're teaching us, especially when my classes are, they're all taught in Spanish. at this point. Well, soon they will be. So, I it's like I just gotta get on it because it's like the pressure is kind of coming down. So being online is just not helping, pretty much. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons, let me tell you, right? Because like pretty much me and Jazzy, we literally just went to ATL from the mid September to mid October, like last year, because we were both online. And we went there for a whole month, you know what I mean? And like we were still doing school, like I was still working online. And when I was originally supposed to go on a trip with my school during spring break of 2020, but when COVID hit, then it was like, yo, this is a dub. But um it was kind of like interesting because I wouldn't have had the opportunity to go out to Atlanta for that long in the middle of a school year to network and be with family and stuff. If it wasn't for something like that, I wouldn't have had the time to like build my brand up, build up my website and the YouTube and all this stuff. So it's like on the positive side, I'm like, okay, where like I was able to do some other things. On the con side, yeah, it's still draining as hell. Like it's um very draining sometimes, like when it's like so much going on. But on the bright side, like I can just wake up, you know what I mean, and like be on class. Like it allows me to be more productive in that sense. Like all the time that I was stuck in traffic or like traveling, like going from school and back, that's about an hour or more just in travel time, and I'm just in the car. So like Dark Justice Beats, shout out to him. That's my homie from school, Berkeley. And yeah, like pretty much he's saying he's benefited from it and stuff. But everybody has different experiences depending on what you're doing, your major, and like the classes. Every school is different too. Like some classes is slow, like. And being in the teacher standpoint too, it could be I've been teaching, and I'm like, yeah, I give a lot of respect to our teachers for at least trying to like switch over, especially teachers I've been teaching for dumb long, like that, like might be a little older and have to get used to the technology. Like kudos to you for at least like trying to adjust, because like I know like it's tough for everybody out here for sure. But yeah, on to the next question. How has your mental state been impacted by online learning? Anybody can hop on that.
I'll go. I could definitely say that it's helped it because since one thing I will say about online learning is that it's giving me a new sense of independence that I like have fallen in love with. Like if it wasn't for COVID happening and anything like that, I wouldn't have been so courageous to permanently move out of Mass and get my own place and really just start my life and start my own business, and all that has made me like very happy in life. Like it has made my overall like outlook on life very different. So I think like with like throughout all of the BS that like we go through the day to day, it definitely has helped because I'm a whole new person. Like from the person who got kicked off of campus March 30th to the person who is right now is like completely different. And like that wouldn't have happened had I been on campus for a whole nother year, because I wouldn't know how to take care of myself how I take care of myself now.
Facts. Super valid.
For me, I feel like it's helped, that it's also been like kind of trash. Um, in the sense like I go to therapy now, and it's helping for sure. And I have like no shame or whatever. I feel like I don't know. I feel like in social media, when you say you go to therapy, I feel like there's always like a negative connotation that's tied with it. But honestly, like if I didn't, shout out to Dom for helping me with that, with his job.
I
Because
got you. Hit me,
me
everybody.
and my therapist for sure like have connected, and there had like me myself, I've felt like improvements within like my daily, and Like when COVID first hit, and then having to go online, like I had to move out of my dorm like ASAP. Well, I took that upon myself. They was like, campus is closed the next day. I was like, okay, bet. Like, let me just pack up all my stuff. I'm out of here. And I guess from there, I didn't know how much of a spiral things were going to go for me. Like, but I feel like since then, like I said, like the person that you were when you got booted from campus up to now, like I definitely believe that there is progress that in improvements within myself that have been made. And so, like she said, despite the BS, I'm glad that I don't want to say I'm glad that it happened, but like, considering the circumstances, like, there were definitely benefits that came from it. Like getting to see my baby nephew when we got to leave for Atlanta, and then Dom just had a birthday and we was out in Maine, and then next day we had class, you know what I mean? So it's like we get to move around, gives us the freedom to move around. It's COVID. They say not to travel, but listen, I can't stay in Mass. I can't stay in this box of a room. Like
We
I gotta
in
get
the
out of here.
B&Bs.
I need a new change of scenery, and so
Yeah.
that's what I like about online school is that we can do that. However, this whole going back into school, if there's in person, that's I don't like it.
Yikes. Izzy, you got any? How's your mental state been?
It's been fluctuating, honestly. It's a lot of I feel like for me personally, I am more predisposed to kind of like failure in the classroom, for lack of a better term. Like I don't like I get very distracted, and I get very inside my head. I get my focus is very selective. And so being in the classroom, it forces me to have a limited amount of things that can impact my focus. But being online, there's a lot more for my mental to start to take into consideration. There's a lot more things around me distracting me. And I feel like it's especially because things happen so drastically. Like it wasn't necessarily a conscious decision so far to go into doing online learning, as much as it was just like, well, I am already 2 years into college. Like I gotta continue. So I feel like the way that the way that my mindset was already structured, it's definitely been a difficult transition for me. So it's definitely put a lot of stress on my mind. Part of the reason being also because I don't really even when I get stressed, like I don't focus on that either. So like that'll build up in the background, and I feel like because of that, like I'm used to being in like in high school and shit. I would be like in class or whatever, paying attention, kind of hearing everything that's going on, still being able to reiterate everything, but then being able to kind of catch everything up super easily when it came time to like, all right, now time to get everything together. But being online, it makes it a lot more difficult because you're more independent, and so it's been a good opportunity to grow because it's been helping me to really adjust my mindset and move through some more uncomfortable things. But growing is always a painful thing. It's not necessarily always the most painless experience. So I don't know. It's definitely been interesting.
Yeah, I feel you. It's definitely on that distraction point because, oh my gosh. And then the family be wanting to come in the room like, oh, are you
Yeah.
in class? I'm like, yeah. Like, what you talking about? You hear the teacher, right? Bet. Lost Nari for a sec, but it's all good. She'll be back in the future. We still here. Show's still rolling. Um, but yeah, so we got question number 3. This is more about how has our physical state been impacted by online learning. And so I can just tell you like pretty much before COVID, like I had started meal prepping and I was like, I did all this planning and I just like started working out a lot. I was going to the gym, and then like next thing you know, like I had got sick, and like not even like it was before I even got sick. It was like COVID was happening, and we was like, oh dang, we need to like get food because I don't know what's about to happen, but it's looking a little crazy. So let me just get a few extra groceries just in case. And so pretty much like next thing you know, like, then I got sick and I'm like, dang, I could hardly eat. And then it was just like building back up. Like, it was just a roller coaster. And then just being in like the darkness of COVID, it was like, man, I can't even really like, do all that meal prepping and stuff right now. And so, like some of the like stuff, I had like a little six pack coming in low key. And then like, different things. Like I'm like, dang, my stomach's kind of getting a little soft and stuff, and it's kind of, I'm like, dang, I had to get back into it. And I started these Zoom workouts. It was like Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Like me and Jazzy was on there, and like Norman and Nita, like a whole bunch of people. We was on there, and then sometimes it was just me and Jazzy, like, and we was trying. And then like I don't know what happened. It might have been her birthday. And next thing you know, we're just like, yo, like this is
Nah, you had got sick, and then it like rolled into because you had got sick
madness.
like a more current time.
Oh yeah, my
And then
immune
it was
system is
like my
trash.
birthday came up, and then
was
it
like,
was like we just lost it, but it's okay. It's all good.
yeah, we're
We
back
come
into
back.
it though.
Yeah.
I mean, like low key, I was doing push ups the other night, so it's a hot mess. But yeah, that's pretty much my physical state has been a roller coaster to say the least. How about y'all?
Yeah, I say kind of same. I feel like this online learning has definitely made it has made me a little bit lazier in a couple different ways, because it's kind of like beforehand it would be like, all right, thinking about physical schools, like you wake up and the stress alarm in your head is like, oh, I gotta book it to class, like I gotta physically get there, as
Yeah, I be
opposed to being
running.
like, oh no, I don't need to leave my bed, I just need to open up the laptop and sign in. It's a very different experience going on in your head. I feel like having back in high school and shit, or even back when school was in person, like it would be more, I'd be more alert and attentive because I'm actually like my body's up and I'm moving and I'm running trying to get to class, as opposed to like moving my arm a couple inches to just like turn on the laptop or whatever. I found myself staying indoors more just in general, because everything's like a lot of my classes are online, and I haven't necessarily just been like going out into the park just to like take a class or something, when I got like stuff that I could be doing at my home, especially as like a producer, like making music and stuff. Like a lot of my creation already happens inside, so like my mind is like, oh yeah, like we don't gotta go anywhere. We could stay right here.
Yeah, it's. I feel you. It's like it's so complicated because, and I'm trying not to make it complicated because I'm like, at the end of the day, it's just like, okay, this is life now. You know what I mean? But then life is forever changing because they're trying to like, open up more stuff or have in person in the fall, and it's like, oh man, like I just kind of got a little comfortable, like, having the ease of like sometimes I be able to like just sit outside and have class, and I'm like, yo, the sun is kind of hitting right now, you know, it's feeling kind of lit. Even when it comes down to being in the bathroom, yo, I'm gonna keep it real. Like sometimes teachers will be tight at me for needing to go to the restroom in the middle of class. I'm like, yo, like, how you gonna be mad at my bodily functions? Like, that don't even make sense. And so, but like, I don't want to miss what's going on in the class. It's not that I want to leave. I just need to use the bathroom. But with the Zoom, just make sure your camera's off. You know what I'm saying? And your mic is muted, then you good. Like, you can still, take in the information and stuff. So like, I also like the class recordings. That's another thing because sometimes like, we be here but like we don't, and then like I'd be tired, and then I just might not take in all the information right then and there. So then like being able to go back, like it's mad helpful, and I'm like, dang, like that's gonna be kind of whack low key in person. Don't get me started with the quizzes and tests, but ooh Jesus, I'd be stressed. But yeah, word. All right, let's hit it with the next question, and after that, we're gonna jump into Izzy's video called Fuck 12. He put that out in this past summer with Vision the Dreamer and Endo Soul. I know the video was edited by Evan Sheets, and yeah, it was like a lot of stuff going on, like with the protests and stuff, and like that was tough too, cause you know it was in middle of COVID. You know, some people were still online. I wasn't in school at the time that last summer, but you know I was working and stuff, and like it was just a lot happening. So, you know, we still gotta stay present in what's going on in the world, and that's tough. You know, when you're in school, and like you know, like especially all the racism that's happening at Berkeley now too. Like, don't even get me started, y'all. Like, let's keep it real. Like, at the end of the day, like this stuff is still present and it's going on all the time. So respect for making that, bro. And we're gonna get to that after this next question. All right, what do you love and or hate about online learning? If you had like a top one, top hate love and the top hate. I feel like, oh, you want to go?
One thing that I hate about it is the lack of a connection between just people. Like, it's so funny. I remember the other day, like in my I have a music history class, and like nobody puts their camera on, and like people barely talk. And I remember I saw the teacher walking down the street the other day, and it was so weird that I knew who he was and he didn't know who I was. And I would just like see him walking and be like, like you don't know that you are teaching me things about like music. And it was just such a weird disconnect to have. Like it didn't make me feel I feel like as invested in what I was trying to learn. Especially because especially because all this stuff is being like recorded, and I've been watching just like regular, other lectures from like other schools and stuff that are just on YouTube. And sometimes it's kind of like, man, like, the quality of these online lectures are kind of superior to the quality of these online lectures that I'm paying for, and these ones are just on YouTube.
Yikes.
So I'm just like, it's complicated because I know people are trying their best. Like they're not about to go out and hire a whole new team of people who have been trained and ready to teach you online and like, oh no, this is my passion, my profession. Like a lot of the teachers it's just as new for them as it is for us. So we're kind of like, we're kind of like the test run for them to kind of figure shit out. Well, I guess one thing that I do like about it would be I do like the flexibility it gives you. Like it gives you more flexibility and like responsibility to take care of stuff yourself. Kind of gives you a little bit more of a taste of I guess adulthood in a sense, because you're really responsible for your time and managing it and everything. So it's definitely an uncomfortable environment that you could grow in a lot if you kind of take it by the horns.
Right. I definitely feel you, bro. Speaking about like the teachers and stuff too, like one of our teachers, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if he taught all of us in here, but Mr. Benjor, you know what I'm saying? He reached out. He couldn't be on this. He couldn't tune in today, but he wanted to share his 2 cents about how he felt about this question, and he was saying that Zoom sucks, but he said teachers are working with what they got, which what you're saying, like they're trying their best. But he also said that he needs parents to also be accountable, and he said a lot of times, he said it's excluding internet issues. Like internet issues is a whole thing in itself, but excluding that, like he's just saying, like, that's their child that you're responsible for their success pretty much. So like, I guess parents having to be like a little more hands-on with their kids at the end of the day. But I also understand too, like I teach drum lessons to kindergarteners and first graders right now, and it's kind of like, sometimes kids might not be able to make every lesson, and I understand, like, yeah, it's time that I'm supposed to be teaching your kid, but at the end of the day, it's also like, dang, like I also get like, you got several kids, you're working, you got to share the car with your husband, you got to, be, and they're trying their best too. So like, it's just like trying to split time and energy everywhere. And like, I give respect to the parents and the teachers and the students, everybody that's just trying their best, you know what I mean? Cause like at the end of the day, like, we just trying to get by. Nobody has ever experienced what everybody's experiencing right now. You know what I mean? Like this is new for everybody. So like, yeah, we've been in the pandemic for a little bit, but things are still changing. So like, nobody really know what the vaccine. We're gonna get into that, but like, it's a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Um. So yeah, and then what did I even say? I just started going on and on, but Jazzy, um, what would be like your top love, your top hate about online learning?
Um, what I love about it is same as Izzy, pretty much like the flexibility that comes with it, the traveling that we get to do.
Facts.
I look forward to being able to like do those things, and so it's just like the idea of like that just slowly like fading. Like of course, like it's still gonna be traveling, but it's like you got those like those windows of time like where you got a break to go. You know what I mean? So um, what I hate about it, I guess I don't I don't know. Like I don't necessarily hate online learning. It's just not if I don't prefer it, but it's I don't know. It's hard because you see the best of both sides, and
Right.
then you also have like the faults of it. But I don't know. I'm just I guess I'm glad that I don't have to be in a space where like when it comes to test taking and all that other stuff. Like me, I'm not the best test taker. I probably get some type of anxiety, so I have to. But it's also worse to be like doing a virtual online test because now I'm constantly looking at the clock. I'm looking at the clock, and then I gotta like take the time to like I have to download the test into a PDF file. Then I gotta find where I gotta upload it to, and then that takes away time from like me actually doing
Wait, they
my
don't send
best.
the what? They're not gonna send that out right before? Like what? They need to include
They
that
like
time.
because what my school does, they be like, okay, your test is at said time, and it'll be posted on Blackboard, but they're posting it as a Word document, so I can go in and type it and all this craziness, and then I gotta go into Blackboard and upload it and submit it. So that in itself, like, I gotta take time away from actually completing, well, not completing, but if I want to go back and look over my answers, like I got like, zero point 0.1 seconds to do so because
Mm.
I have to like, make sure that it's saved the right way. I title it the right way. When I go to find to submit it, like it's the actual file. Cause sometimes you gotta go digging a lot further than where you thought your file was, and so
Right.
gotta
I
take
feel you.
you gotta take that into consideration. And there's been too many times, like the first semester online, where I was taking a chemistry class, like via Zoom. That's terrible. That was crazy. I just it was I don't know, but I just think like those are my where I'm at with this love hate relationship with online learning.
Yeah.
It has its fun sides, but also just like the side where I don't want to deal with it. I don't want it
It's
in my life.
toxic.
I'm tired of school.
Yeah, another thing about those tests too is something to consider. Like you were saying earlier, Dom, is that this is our reality for now, and that could easily change in the future. And so like people who are now getting comfortable with using the online and the sneaky test answers, like that's gonna come to that's gonna end up stopping. So like students who I've definitely, I'm not gonna lie, I've definitely had a couple of assignments or a couple quizzes stuff where I was like, all right, let me just Google in this answer right quick.
Facts.
That's not going to be the case when people are back online. So where people's minds are conditioned to be ready to not have to put as much effort into studying so that they can get the grade, that's going to hit them kind of like a train when it comes back to being in person. People are going to be, it'll be kind of like another reality shock. It's just going to keep going from, I feel like, shock to shock to shock until things are kind of stable for a bit.
Facts, yo. It's gonna be really interesting, honestly. Like, I'm just, I'm trying not to think about it too much because I'm gonna get stressed. I'm gonna just get stressed out. But yeah, it's a lot. But word, it's about time that we hit that little fuck 12 video. Like on my, give y'all a little music break. You know what I'm saying? Shake your body, dance. Cause you know with online learning, like we be sitting down, my back be hurting. Like need to get up and move. So just dance along and yeah, vibe out. Here we go.
Yo, 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 yo. Shit fucking hectic out here. They don't, nigga. R.I.P. my nigga George Floyd. Free the fucking game.
Black lives matter, all them blue lives is murder. Killing more names than a nigga ever heard of. Black and blue bruises, bars banging across my body, bitch. I ain't fucking sorry, Boston ain't no damn deserters. They hate us, they love us, they hurt us. Bitch, where are your manners? We built up this country, you do not deserve us. Now we stand united, you hit us with fire, we give you the furnace. The camera guy shy in the middle, he looking hella nervous. Bitch, what is your purpose? People make me sick. Get off my fucking dick. Whoa, I don't fuck with fucking pigs. Snatching life from fucking kids. Floyd, Martin, Taylor, Aubrey, dead, gone, murder, robbery, fuck 12, headstrong, weak-willed, hobbies. This shit ain't even revenge, it's revolution and nobody can stop it. Evolution up in heaven, say copy. We the people, we gon' hit them like Baki. On a mission, now you devils can't rock me. In the mission, vision up in the lobby.
I be Rickin', steady swerving on Bobby. Crack the riot, turn that shit to a party. Bring the smoke and put the calm in the Kazi. Doing damage, I ain't catching no bodies. Niggas boxing, I be feeling like Roddy. Drago Ivan, I'ma hit him like Rocky. Swear me niggas, but they really some Nazis. I've been peeping since you heard about Roddy. Fuck you racist, so your memory foggy. We still done chasing fucking goals. Everyone making fucking pose. Energy, take it to the pose. Gotta add a V to make it vote. Giving with the ways to change the codes. Fuck dirty ass pigs, you make them bros. Information everybody knows, and that's beast. When we reach that goal, we gon' gather up and have a feast. Gotta grab the throne, they gon' cower at our feet. Know a couple kings, but I ain't ready with the speech. Sick and tired of being tired. Tired of living this dream.
Bacon 12 pack, the dick is going brick for brick. I don't ask, I take it, feeling like a panther. I don't do the banter. Strap me up, rebound like cancer. Shots that they like turn into a dancer. Fuck 12, free bro pigs like a cancer. Ask them why they shot, they avoid the answer. Need a shooting and I hope I land her. Nat Turner, but a new age. Smoking pigs like blunts, I don't do sage. Need a real change, need a blue page on my Che Guevara with a new rage. Try to tell me, but I had to shake them. One strap each hand, either way I take them. Try to chase me, niggas shaking bacon. Turn around and J, I'm on the whiskey flaming. When I see them kids aiming at they legs, make sure it hits, unload the clip. Fuck the piss, blood suckers, ticks, always on my dick, I ain't doing shit. I'm just hustling, bring my money in, they on funny shit, trying to stop the kid. Blast off like a rocket ship, Smitty gon' blast and go rocket shit. All my ancestors, everybody pissed. Aim at cops and I'll never miss. Pussy.
I've been waking up strange beds in these strange places. I've been waking up strange beds in these strange places. Yeah. I've been waking up strange beds in these strange places. I've been waking up strange beds in these strange places. Try to get you back off the wall. This life's a circus, but you still gotta stand tall. Although this shit ain't perfect, just believe the day is worth it. You can feel it in the surface, you're just starting to crawl. Hold me and I'll hold you, we can change it together.
Okay.
Word.
We back. Yeah, it's so wild seeing that now. from like last summer.
Yeah, that was a time, bro. That was a time.
Yeah,
Whew, them
a time to
protests.
be alive,
Yo,
stay
facts.
alive.
You know, Izzy was on the first Talks with Dom episode when we like spoke about our protest experience. Y'all need to go check that out on my YouTube channel, Diggity Dom. Like, go check that out because he was speaking some real stuff. Like, we was up in there and Izzy was up with right in front of the police, man. Y'all need to go, woo. Yo, go check that out. But yeah, appreciate you, Izzy, all the work that you do. Go support him and Vision the Dreamer and Indo Soul. We're all out here, artists and stuff, trying to make a living and share with the world, like, what's going on. Like, this is some real stuff, y'all. But
Yeah, yeah,
bet. Word. So now we're gonna get back into the grind of things. We just got a few more questions left. Um, do y'all have any advice on making it through the semester? And before I continue with this question, I want to give out a shout out to hopefully I don't mess up your name, but Jandira Fernandez. She's actually the one that requested this topic, online learning. So shout out to you for just bringing that up to the table. Appreciate you for tuning into the videos. Really appreciate the support. And yeah, so really, trying to give you and different people like advice on like how we making it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we still struggling, but we're still alive. We're still pushing through, and ain't nobody dropped out of yet. You know what I'm saying? We still going. We almost to the finish line. So like for me, honestly, I feel like what's like for as far as making it through the semester, really just trying to communicate with your professors. So like trying to stay like I try also to stay on top of things. So like even though I might fall behind a little bit on a reading or so, like at least on my written assignments, on my quizzes, at least try to like set aside time like ahead of time. Like yeah, I've been slacking a little bit since midterms. It's been tough, but try your best to like do things in advance as close to possible. So if you attempted it 3 days earlier, even if you didn't finish it, at least you got some of it done. So you only like on day two working on it, you only got 2 days before it's due. Like, you have less work to do. And let's say, 2 days before you're like, dang, I did a little bit of work, but I got too tired. Or at least the day before, you almost done with it. You know what I'm saying? Like you have that progress made. So like just trying to put a little bit into each thing, will kind of help you not fall behind too much, or at least stay on top of your stuff. Also, I know I'm trash with sleeping, eating, and all that, but drinking water, like just the basic essentials of like living, it's tough, and sometimes we forget about it when we have all these classes back to back and like don't feel like getting out of bed. But like just trying to have that constant reminder, like okay, we need to make sure that we're having self-care, because that's really important. Like even like any teachers out here, really just try to like the breaks are essential. You know what I mean? Like them 15-minute breaks from the screen time in the middle of class, like please do those, because like it's needed. And it's really tough, when we're just like when I got 6 hours of class in the time. We got a question from Raina too about stopping procrastination. No worries. Thank you for joining in. But yeah, like as far as procrastination, like I would say set a schedule like in your calendar. Write that stuff down. Like I got my calendar is crazy. Like if it's not in my calendar, like does it exist? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like my homework, I have things that are flexible, but for me, the things that I know I need to prioritize, like if it's not in my head, like I need to put stuff in my calendar. So I would definitely recommend that. They have different apps that you can do. And I would just look into that. Like as far as procrastination, they can send you alerts. I used to send people homework reminders in high school. So it's like, there's apps that can do that for you. And if you need me to hit you up, what I mean, just hit me up, if you need Diggity Dom to, be like, yo, get on that, I'll set up a little schedule, what I mean? I'll make sure you're good. But yeah, like how do y'all have any advice for people trying to get through the semester?
What I found myself doing when it came to school, like classes in itself, is usually I'm not the one to participate, but I found that when I do, it engages me more into my classes. So if anything, like yes, you probably may have some like interfere of like speaking up and just like just answering a question or anything of that sort. But um, when I found that when I started to do that and get like more intrigued by what we're talking about in the class. So and Don was always like, if it's a class that you really just struggling with, like just try to find one thing that you can like just keep going with in the class, like one thing that intrigues you. So but I just happened to be taking like one class this semester that I'm like my all of my interest is in it. So, that makes it easier. And obviously I have the Spanish classes where I have to like participate in. So, just I don't know. If anything, just try to like get out of your head. It's easier said than done, but just try to, at least just take it one day at a time. Pretty much, like that's one thing that I can truly say. Is just take it all.
Facts.
Yeah. I say, you know, having someone to like really help you. Like if you got someone that y'all can hold each other accountable, that'll take you like very far, because if you're not feeling it, they can be like, all right, I know, but you just gotta just bang it out, and then we could chill, we could do whatever.
Yep.
Like, because it's tough trying to like people try to tell themselves to do stuff all the time, and it just doesn't happen. Like, your body is a hard person to convince to do things. You can think stuff and you can say stuff, but that's only one aspect of your entire being. Like, you could try even like you and me, all of us here as artists, like trying to keep ourselves in some kind of consistent practice schedule. It might be something we think about a lot, but it's really difficult to really get ourselves to do it. So I feel like when you got someone that you can do it with, like, all right, we can do this at the same time, or I'll be here while you do it, or whatever. That can definitely be a really powerful thing, especially in a time that's so where part of the problem is being just the fact that we're online is new for people. Having someone next to you can help kind of ease that fear, that stress a little. And for procrastination, I'm definitely a heavy procrastinator, but I feel like rewarding yourself, like having the discipline to reward yourself when you do the job is can be really helpful. Like, I've definitely had times where like I'll be doing homework, I have like a little bag of chips next to me. I'm like, all right, each question, each sentence is a chip or whatever, just like trying to like, all right, I could take another bite if I make it through this far. Just kind of trying to convince yourself to make it through however you decide to do it. Or like sometimes I won't, like I'll know that like I want to produce or I want to make music or whatever, but just the fact that I know I have to do certain stuff is stopping me. So I'll just be real with myself and be like, all right, if I really want to get to the stuff that I want to do, and if I really want to be able to put all my attention and my focus into it, I just got to get the stuff done. Or even if I don't do the whole thing, even if I just do like a little bit, that's enough for me to be like, all right, I feel somewhat accomplished. I can go back on it. And I'm definitely not the best person when it comes to like following a schedule, but a schedule can definitely be really helpful. Or even just like a scheduled time. Like at the beginning of the semester, when I was kind of scheduling myself, I was like getting up in the morning early and going to school to shed, and then that would leave that would leave me with like time. Like, if you do stuff early, if you start early in the day, if you got something done by 12 o'clock hits, because usually for me personally, if 12 o'clock hits and I haven't really done anything, I feel like I've wasted my day. That's how I feel. It's not necessarily true, but I start feeling like that. And the possibility that I actually waste my day starts to increase. So if I can get myself to do something before 12, if I can start to get something done before then, I feel like I still got time to manage afterwards, instead of feeling so kind of like short on time or so pressed for time.
Word. That's what's up. Yeah, I definitely feel you, and I also really agree with the whole like kind of like accountability buddy. Like Jazzy, woo, she already know. Like, we be on each other like all the time. Like, sometimes I'll be like, yo, like, you start your homework yet? You start your homework yet? And she be like, why are you talking to me about that? But then like she knows like she'll do it, but like I'll be bringing it up, and sometimes I don't feel like doing nothing. Like I've been might have been in class all day working all day, and I'm just like like I don't want to do this, and she'd be like, Dom, you can do it, like you got it. And like just like having like like that one person or whatever. And sometimes like when Jazzy's sleeping and like I'm like, oh dang, I'm up by myself and I have to like do my work. I'm just be like, all right, you can do it, Dom. You got it, Dom. Like sometimes you just need to verbally say that stuff out loud to yourself. Like self encouragement goes a long way. Sometimes like I mess up on something. Like I try not to say the word or the words you're stupid dumb or you're dumb dumb, like, because that's bringing yourself down. And like if you keep bringing yourself down, then you're going to start to believe that stuff, you know what I mean? And then eventually you never feel like you'll be able to get anywhere higher than that. So just try to uplift yourself, because that's a big thing too, like just telling yourself you can do it. And I feel like another really hard thing to do is start, like just starting anything. That's the hardest thing to anything. Like you can write down your goals and stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, this is great, this is wonderful, okay, now what? You know what I mean? It's like you got to actually put in the time and like sit down and start doing it. And so that's probably one of the biggest things. And like having that buddy, and also just putting that self-encouragement into yourself and like saying that stuff out loud, I think also helps with just being on, like, getting on top of that. But word. All right, let's move on to the next one. It's getting close to 5, you know what I mean? Might go a few minutes over, but the next one is, how do you feel about going back in person fully? So like no more remote, like everything is just in person. Jazzy looks. Hold on, let me.
Personally, I'm kind of ready.
You ready, bro?
I feel like it could be smooth for me personally, just because I know how distracted I get in my house, like online. Like it can really be when I'm in class, I'm at least in the room, so like I can't, or like it's a lot more difficult to just like get up and go. I'm less likely to do that when I'm in my house. I can go upstairs, I can be around the corner, I could be in the bathroom, I could be in the kitchen,
Right.
like I could be in any number of places. I could go outside, I could walk to the store, like no one. It's not as visible, it's not as physical. There's no one there to like physically see that that's happening, really, unless your teacher makes you have your video on, which in all of my classes that doesn't happen. And so like,
Interesting.
yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like I have a lot of classes where I've never seen like any of the people or heard half of them speak.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it's weird. I don't know, but I feel like in person, it'll be different. Like I will be there, so it'll be harder for me to not be present because I will be literally in the room.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting too, like that you mentioned like the camera thing, because like I know at Berkeley, like a lot of our classes are kind of small, and like some of the teachers like require us to have cameras on. Some of them highly recommend, and then some of them are just like don't really just and they're just like, oh, it would be nice if you could, but they don't like be like, oh, you have to. And so like coming from like teaching all summer and virtually, that was it. Like I was, as an instructor, I was supposed to tell my students, hey, you need to keep your cameras on, like from the organization that I was teaching through. And so when the kids don't have the cameras on, like as a teacher, I started to like see that shit, and I was like, oh, okay, like seeing from the other end, and then also seeing from the end when they have the cameras on, like seeing if they're engaging or this and that, like was definitely really interesting to like witness. And like sometimes if I feel up to it, like I try my best to have my camera on, even if it's just me and the teacher or me and 2 other kids and it's like 30 kids in the class. At least like I'm like, okay, well, they feel like they got somebody, they're not just talking to a blank screen. and like it's definitely interesting. But I also want to give a shout out to Ani Johnson and Pam Korinsky, because they try to make sure that we have breakout groups, like, and sometimes they mix it up so that we can get to know different kids. So like it's kind of nice, like, even though we might not see each other in person, like some of those breakout groups, like I've got to have really like good discussions with people, because it's different. After class you don't get to go outside and bump into somebody and like, hey, like, nice to da da da, like, no, the ending hasn't been meeting the ending I can't even speak. The meeting has been ended by the host, and like that's it. You know what I mean? You have to like go out of your way to go and like email them, and everybody's gonna be like, oh, who's emailing me, or who is this? You know what I mean? So the definitely the breakout rooms have been a nice way to engage for that bit, because the people who have their cameras off all class might turn it on for the breakout room. Sometimes they won't, but sometimes start talking, and other times everybody is not for it and everybody's gonna be asleep. But I think, yeah, I'm not ready to go back in person, point blank, mainly just because of transportation, my productivity level. I've been finagling mad things, and I just feel like I'm going to be losing time. You can't get time back. Time is always moving. So I just feel like I'm going to have less time to do all the things I'm doing. But I just had to figure it out. I'm going to have to figure it out. What about you, Jazzy?
I don't want to go. Because I just registered for classes yesterday, and I was expecting to just see remote, like for the type of how the class was gonna be taught, and they have building locations, and I was like, oh, this is too real. Like, this is not it. I can't believe this. Like, I know. And I was talking to my mom about it. I think she popped up here now. I don't know if she's still on here, but shout out to my mom. And I told her before we started the stream, I was like, oh yeah, like I may be going back to school on campus in fall. She was like, for what? I was like, because like that's what they got on there. And my mom, like, she is she's at risk, like high risk for COVID and all these other craziness that's going on. So it's definitely a health risk for me going back and bringing something into my home. And so that is also being played into consideration. But I feel like if I do go back in person, it'll force me to get work done in the time that it's like set for my class. Because one of my classes, I have a discussion class, and one of those is just like answering questions on the discussion board or whatever. And so it's like those are the typical assignments that get pushed to the side, because it's like, oh, I have all these hours in the day where I can go back and get this done. I don't have to do it at this set time. But it's like, that's such a problem, because then it builds up, and then it's like, oh dang, the next day doesn't pass, and here's the next assignment. And then it's just, I don't know, I feel like if I go back, it'll do me good, but I physically don't want to, per se. So yeah.
It's tough. I would definitely say that. And like, yeah, especially the health concerns, like it's I don't mind getting a COVID test, but like my immune system is trash, and like sure, people might be like, oh, well, just get the vaccine. Like, I honestly, and that's the next question, thoughts on a vaccine. Like, I not comfortable with it right now. I had COVID like last year. It was really bad, and I had it worse than the rest of my family, because my body was just like, nope, I can't right now. And so like there's been like different reports about like if you've had it in the past, and like it might interfere, you know what I mean, like with the antibodies, and you might start having really bad symptoms and stuff. And plus the vaccine just came out, you know what I mean, like nobody knows what's about to happen, a year from now, 5-10 years from now. Nobody knows anything. I don't even get the flu shot no more, because every time I was getting the flu shot, I was getting the flu, and I would be mad sick, like coughing up blood type sick, mad sick. And so I'm like, yo, like, and they've had the flu shot for God knows how long. So this thing just came out, like, if people feel comfortable getting it, like, you do that. That's your personal choice. But should it be required to go back to school? Nah, I don't think so. Like, I feel like for people who, you know, feel like either religious or, you know, their bodies, you know, just may not work well with other substances, then, you know, they need to at least let us still get tested frequently so that, you know, we can still be able to access the same resources if they want to talk about vaccine and all of that. But I don't think it should be a requirement. Even to travel, like, just, you know, if y'all are scared, let me just get a test and like I'm cool. I don't have any problem with that. As long as you know it's for free, you're paying for it. I don't got a whole lot of money. Um, but yeah, like, you know, how do y'all feel about that?
I'll definitely take a test over getting this vaccine any day. Even if it's a reoccurring thing, like I don't care. I don't, like you said, like I don't know what's gonna happen, and I don't want to put something unknown and foreign into my body. I don't, I do what I can personally to protect myself from this virus, like, keeping hands clean, wearing a mask. Listen, my mother preaches this: leaving the house, you gotta walk out the door with the mask on there. Hi, mom. But I can't leave out the house with that mask on because she'll be right there at the door, like watching me.
Yeah, she
Where's your
said
hand
she'll
sanitizer
answer to
at? Like,
you.
where's it at? Give me a little bottle before I walk out the door. Like, like it's embedded into me from her to protect myself from this virus and do all the things necessary to do so. And when it comes to going back in school, uh I don't feel like it needs to be required, because if you're already, you never know, one of those things, like you never know who you're about to be in these classes with, somebody who probably already had COVID, or who may be developing symptoms and don't even know it, because these symptoms, like, you literally, like, you just wouldn't know unless you got a positive test. And so, I don't know. I personally, on this vaccine, is a nay. I'm all set and done. Cool. I'll rather get a nose swab or whatever. Like, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, I don't want nothing in my body. Cause what if, cause I keep hearing, I don't know how true this is, but I don't even want to bring it up. I'm gonna bring it up because this whole idea of like zombies or something like that. Like, I don't. It's crazy. I don't know. There was some connection that I seen on the internet somewhere about, you never know, these next few years, shoot, that could develop into something. So I don't know. I don't scare anybody by saying that, but I'm just saying, like, that's a thing that has been thrown out into. Um, but I don't know. Yeah.
Ah, word. Okay, yeah, I definitely feel you. It's kind of wild out here. I know Izzy's having a little trouble with his audio right now. It's his internet connection, and that's the big thing. You know, this virtual world is really wild because you never know these days. We got Izzy back. You know what I'm saying? What's poppin', bro? You hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear the audio now.
Bet. Word, yeah. So, what was your thoughts about the vaccine and everything?
I mean, I don't really know. I'm being a little patient because,
Right.
for one, it's a virus that's been out for not very long, and we've already got some kind of a cure. If you do a tiny bit of research on viruses, it's taken in the past a lot longer to get a working cure than a lot of this what's happening currently right now. And like, my mom's a nurse. She's been a nurse for a while. And like, when I was talking to her about it, she was like, "Yeah, I'm kind of skeptical about it. She feels like it was been kind of rushed." So I was like, "Well, that's all the validation that I really need to kind of be patient and wait and see." Like, I've been doing decent so far, just being clean and like aware and cautious. So I feel like I'm gonna keep up with that for now and see how it goes. If things get mandatory, though, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about things getting mandatory. When things become mandatory, that's always a complicated situation,
Right.
because it's like mandatory for who and for why.
Exactly. That's like the them cards they're trying to come out with, like the travel wallet or something, where they gotta see if you're vaccinated or something, like just to travel to certain places, like on the app. And it's kind of like, yo, like they're really trying to make it really hard for people of maybe different backgrounds, ethnicities, or social groups to like move out and about of where they want to go. So it's I don't know what's about to happen in these next few years, but it's getting kind of crazy. And I'm gonna keep praying, y'all, and try to keep my head up. Y'all keep your head up. Stay alert, stay focused, stay present in what's going on, your surroundings, what's happening in the world, because there's things like that can always be like forever changing. So just want to make sure that we just try to build a path for ourselves and understand things can always change, and like try to be just focused on everything. But yeah, I just want to thank you everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions in this last little time, I know we went a little over, but feel free to comment that. Shout out to my pops for watching. And Glaude, he's a music teacher himself. My mom teaches music, my brother, like we all teach, you know what I'm saying? So like this online learning, we've all had to adjust to it. Me and my brother from a teaching and a student aspect, and my parents from a teaching aspect. So it's been like really wild, and like especially like in all of us in different areas of the room over the summer, like teaching classes and stuff, or like in class ourselves. Like it's just been really wild, but we are still making it. You know what I'm saying? I got my music out now, Light of Mine. It's a EP music collection, 4 songs on there, featuring Mo Rising, Muhammad, and Ashley Pointer, and the cover art was by Lala Shank. So go check that out. It's on all streaming platforms. Light of Mind, Mind, by Diggity Dom, and it's on the YouTube channel too. Izzy, you want to drop any of your handles, tell the people what you're doing before we dip out, how they can find you, find your stuff?
I got most of my stuff on Instagram right now, komai.wave, KOMAI.WAV. I just dropped a single back on March 9th. Wasn't that long ago, with featuring Vision the Dreamer. Got Evan Sheets did a visualizer for it. Our homies Siobhan, she did the cover art, mixed by Blake Teal, mastered by Indo Soul. Whole squad was out here. But I don't know. Keep posted. I'm about to be back in Boston for the summer, so I'm definitely about to be making a lot of music with all my homies. There's about to be a lot of stuff coming out. So definitely get connected.
Fire, bro, fire. Yeah, Izzy stuff be smacking. You already know. Like, I think Spaceship was the latest track, right? Yeah, that was definitely a vibe. So make sure you go check them out. And then Jazzy, any last words? Anything you want to share with the people?
If you're in school, you got it. Just keep going. You got it. The one thing that's like really keeping me going is graduating, and so that's what's carrying me through all of this. And so just have a goal that you really just want to reach and accomplish, and think about it. Literally, like if you got a second each day, just give it a little thought, and that'll sure that'll give you some motivation to get whatever that needs to get done. But yeah, stay safe out here in these streets. Okay? Stay safe.
Facts. Tracy, we was talking about CMOS. Yep. My homie Tariq, I already have to give you a shout out, fam, for blessing us with the CMOS. This dude, you be making it and it be killing. Ooh, we got the fam up here, Jesse's bro. You already know. Popping up. What's good, bro?
Oh my god, I did a shout out, okay?
You already know, gotta support for the peoples. And like I also wanted to throw this out here real quick. Right now I'm a HIV outreach specialist with Boston Glass. So if anybody needs any access to like any support groups, like it's a LGBTQ nonprofit. So if you I run a trans support group called Prisms. We give out free STI, HTI, and HIV testing and treatment. I give out free condom and lube. So if you're in the Boston area, hit me up. We can definitely connect. And all of our virtual groups and sessions and stuff is virtual right now. So if you can be anywhere and access it. And we kind of go from like age 13 and up to like young adult ages. So if anybody needs any resources, feel free to hit me up. DiggityDom.com, and my Facebook, my YouTube, Instagram, Dominic GBLM, like Black Lives Matter. So make sure you stay in touch. Thank you, bro. Really appreciate you for tuning in for sure. And yeah, on that note, I'm gonna end with this song called Perfect. I pretty much was talking about it's one of the second song on the EP, and it speaks about all the stuff that was going on in my head for so long, that's still going on in my head. Saying like, I be doing all this stuff, I'm trying so hard, but at the end of the day, like, I don't want to be perfect. Like, it's killing me. It's literally mentally and physically killing me. And so it's like, I'm trying my best, and and like at the end of the day, that's all we can do. Try our best. So, keep your head up, everybody. Understand, like, you don't got to be perfect, but all you got to do is put in as much as you can, as much energy as you can into the things that you want to do, and you be Gucci. Word. So anybody else got any last words before we pop into the song? All right. Bet. So yeah, feel free to, check it out, hop off or do what you want. But, after this, it's a wrap. So I'm just going to close off with this song. And yes, stay blessed, everybody.
Yeah. I don't wanna be perfect. I don't wanna be perfect. It just ain't even worth it. It just ain't even worth it. I don't wanna be perfect. I don't wanna be perfect. It just ain't even worth it. It just ain't even worth it. Just put it in reverse. Story time, just look at me. Who do you see? Diggity Dom with the song, but it's more than that. You gotta know, I'm coming for the throne one day at a time. Every minute pass by, I feel like I gotta do more to explore the reality of my dream. I ain't trying to be mean. I just feel blessed to have the people in my life that are willing to accept me for who I am. Flaws are not right or wrong. I am the king of my dreams. I don't care who sees. I'm the only me. I don't wanna be perfect. I don't wanna be perfect. It just ain't even worth it. It just ain't even worth it. I don't wanna be perfect. I don't wanna be perfect. It just ain't even worth it. It just ain't even worth it. I try my best to cause the stress. I need to rest, but my mind keeps finding ways to cut me up in the night. Some nights I don't wanna do nothing. But my mind keeps racing every time. I just want to unwind. Temptations running on my mind. Look out the watch me. I can hide from the batters that be clocking me. In my face, in my back, ready to attack. Trying to block me from my flow. Ready to explode. You don't know me. Mentally, physically, it's a battle every time. I need to unwind. Maybe with a glass of wine. Chilling with my homies. To balance out the voters in the road. They got me on my toes. Watching for these opportunities. I don't wanna be perfect. I don't wanna be perfect. It just ain't even worth it. It just ain't even worth it. I don't wanna be perfect. I don't wanna be perfect. It just ain't even worth it. It just ain't even worth it. It ain't diamonds on my mind. I just need to unwind. Yeah. The future is unpredictable, so take it one day at a time. It ain't diamonds on my mind, I just need to unwind. Yeah. The future is unpredictable, so take it one day at a time. BALANCE, what I spell? I be taking L's, tripping on my thoughts. I'm a sauce, but choo, chitty bang bang. Oh no, not again. I be taking L's, but I don't wanna be perfect. I don't wanna be perfect. It just ain't even worth it. It just ain't even worth it. I don't wanna be perfect, perfect. I don't wanna be perfect, perfect. It just ain't even worth it, worth it. It just ain't even worth it, worth it. Oh, yeah, yeah. I try to reach success in every way that I can. Forget the man, I am the boss in this butterfly. Twinkle in my eye, ready to just fly. Go high like an airplane. Get it fast, like a mouse running through your house. But it's really the thoughts in my mind, racing in time, no need to rewind. Back to reality, one day at a time. Should I drop it like this? One. It's getting hot in here, no need to fear. God on my side, pass me on the back. When things get whack, I got the control to push on. Cause every time I try, I see the light. I don't wanna be perfect, perfect. I don't wanna be perfect, perfect. It just ain't even worth it, worth it. It just ain't even worth it, worth it. I don't wanna be perfect, perfect. I don't wanna be perfect, perfect. It just ain't even worth it, worth it. It just ain't even worth it, worth it. I don't wanna be perfect, perfect. I don't wanna be perfect, perfect. It just ain't even worth it, worth it. It just ain't even worth it, worth it.